Hey guys, today we're going to go over draining of our black tank, our gray tank. This is actually what we do the day before we leave. And the reason we do it the day before we leave is a couple reasons. It makes it easier to pack up to head out, but mainly it leaves a little bit of liquid in all of our tanks as we're traveling along, to kind of mix up what's in there. And then when we get to our next stop, we just do a quick drain real fast. It gets all the yucky stuff out. So basically, I'm going to hand this off to Beth, and I'll give you a step-by-step of what I'm going to do, and we'll go from there. All right. So first of all, we have our big heavy-duty blue gloves. I'm not going to worry about that because I'm just pulling T-handles. Now, I use these when I'm separating out the waste hoses. But these I like these a lot more than I do the disposable gloves. One, it's better for the environment, and two, if your hands get sweaty or anything like that, getting those gloves on and off is sometimes a little pain in the derriere, so to speak. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my black tank first. And so that's that T-valve there. And I'm going to let all of that nourishment come out of that tank. And then what I'm going to do is I'll close that. And then I will flush. Now, I know each tank is different, but I flush my tank for 5 minutes at a time. And I've timed it before. When we first started, I had Beth watch the monitor. And 5 minutes for us worked perfect. Usually, to get this nice and clean, I will flush it about 3 times. I wait till that water is almost clear coming back out of the black tank. After we get done here, I'll show you. I'm not going to show you while the tank is draining because that's disgusting. But when the tank is done, I have a clear elbow right off the T-valve, so I can see what is coming out, the color of the water. That way I know if I need to keep flushing it or not. So as of right now, we're just going to wait for that guy to go. After the black tank is completely done, completely flushed, then what we'll do is we'll then pull our gray tank on this side. This side is just going to be our shower gray tank. So we'll pull that, we'll let it kind of wash out everything, run all the way down, and then we'll go into the kitchen. We'll pull the kitchen and run that as well. So I'll have Beth come back into the Nautilus here. Normally we'll keep this outside. We have it inside because we're in cold weather. So this is my regulator, and this is our filter going in. A lot of times I have the filter on the outside. I know with the water, people are concerned that, well, now you've got that bad water in your hose. The water here is actually really good. It's just a habit that we have that on there. But it keeps it from freezing as well. This I put down here is just a pool noodle, same as the ones that are up here on the slide. I've just cut it for additional insulation. We have heat here, and that just helps keep that hose insulated so we don't have any problems with water. Also, I have 90-degree elbows on here. I talked about that on our walkthrough. These are basically I got from Home Depot. You can get them at any hardware store. You can actually get them on Amazon if you like, as well as I have these little quick connects. Now I just have these on just the flush hose. And the reason I have that is because excuse me, normally we're not swapping out hoses and everything, and again, because we're in a cold area, I take that off, and I only use it when we're flushing out the tank. So that's why I kind of have it here. It's easy on, easy off. So when it's that way, the hoses don't get mixed up when we're setting it up. It's just an added security, basically. Also, along with this, a lot of these, if you buy this is a Rhino flush hose, they come with it, but regardless, you want to have a backflow preventer on the back end of this flush, just in case something happened. You do not want that going back into any type of potable water. So we'll wait there for this guy to go, and then I will do the flush. I'll show you how I do the flush, and then we'll go back to the other stuff. Okay, so the black tank is just about done. I wanted to show you the elbow. It's kind of condensated up because of the temperature inversion that we have. But that's what I watch. So when it's draining and when I'm flushing, I watch that elbow to watch the color of the water coming out. Like I said, I will flush probably about 3 to 4 times until the water coming out is clear. And then we'll go down and we'll show you the rest of it. But here is, I have the Y on here. Here's my backflow preventer. And then basically when I start flushing, I just let the water run through there. And I kind of wait for it to come out down here. Once I start getting a good flow coming out down there, I will then close the valve, set a timer for 5 minutes, and then shut off the Y, and then open that valve back up. Again, I'll do that about 3 or 4 times. So this is the line that kind of comes down from the mid drain. This is our main drain. Comes down here, we run into a Y. Now, I have not come up with a good solution here, so if anybody has a good idea, I am definitely all ears. It is just really difficult when you have the drain towards the back end to make this work right. So basically what I do is I do kind of inverted with the slinky support so that the high side's here, so that all the black tank and the gray come this way instead of going back in. So, and then I just drain this and let it run down, and then lift it up, detach it, and then I can still have that elevated. But by all means, if anybody has a better idea on this, I am all ears. Please link it down in the comments, and I would appreciate it. If not, well, I guess we're all in the same boat then. So, like I was asking on that last clip, I actually found out a better scenario for me. Basically what I did is I bought another T-gate, and I put it in here to my Y. That way I can shut this valve off. I can have this at any level, and I don't have to worry about that line coming down and going back up into the gray tank of that. So that's what I do. I leave this closed unless I'm flushing out that kitchen sink. So that was my solution to that problem of having that awkward kind of Y there when you have your drain at the tail of the trailer. Okay, so I am going to close off this back side. We just had the valve open. So push that valve completely closed, and then I am going to shut my T-gate. Okay, so now, like we said in the past videos, we use those T-gates so that even though the fifth wheel's level right now with driving, they're still going to be sloshing. Even though this is just a gray tank, it's still unsanitary. So when you go to pull this cap back off, when you go to hook your hose back up, you don't want to have a surprise of water coming at you. So this T-gate will eliminate that. So basically what we're going to do here is we're going to pull this guy off. We're going to pull that guy off. And I need to grab my little black tote, and I'll show you what that is. Okay, so this guy here is my little black tote. It's totally coincidental that I use it for my sewage pipes. But what I'll do is I'll put caps on this guy, and we'll put this guy in there. Also, the 90-degree elbow that's up there will go in there. We have the donut here that'll go in there. Some states require this guy, so we always have an extra adapter just in case that guy breaks. This is another kind of a flush out. You can put your flush hose into it, and it blows it back into your pipes if you want. And then I have a riser, and this riser kind of goes in between this elbow and that, in case we're high to with our slinkies and everything. But like I said, I normally only keep one hose in there. That's kind of my extra hose, my Y, and my adapters. And it's sealed up, it's closed, it's a sealed tote. We don't have to worry about it. So we can see here, they are completely drained. There's no water in there. Make sure that you're connected here and on the bottom, just like these when you put these on. Now there's still quite a bit of water in here, so this is where I kind of squeeze her down. Again, this is just gray, but it has to go somewhere, right? So better in the pipe than on you. All right, so we're going to compress this hose all the way down, and we're going to kind of twist this up so that we're up. Now we know that there's nothing going to come out of that line. And we'll finish compressing the slinky here, the accordion of it, and we'll put this guy on there. So now I can set it in here and we're good. But remember, we still got some water floating around somewhere. So we're going to take this guy off of this end, pop this guy off here. And like I said, there's still water in both of these. So you kind of have to be a magician here for a minute. So now that's going to go in here and this is going to go in here. Now I've got this guy that is ready to go back. Alright, now when you're connecting your hoses, and I'm going to use this one as an example because I can twist it all the way around, you always want to make sure that all 4 ports are locked in, because you might get these top that you see, but that bottom one might not be locked in, and that's going to cause a mess as well. So now we're just about ready to finish up. I kind of did a little backwards than what I was saying earlier. I'm going to go ahead and pull my last gray. We're going to let this gray just push everything out, just in case there's any food particles or anything in there. So this will all kind of push it all through, and then we'll wait a couple minutes, make sure that it's all totally drained. Then I'll start from that end, and I'll just kind of pick the hose up and walk it all down. I'm going to push all that water down into the sewage drain, and then we'll pull up our hoses, put our adapters back into our black tote, put our black tote up, and then we will put this guy. I have 2 storage units underneath here for our pipes, so they don't all go in here. I've got one here, and then I've got one up by the front waste gate. So this one we installed, we bought it on Amazon just because we knew that we would need extra storage. I don't like having them all in a tote. It takes up a lot of space when I can utilize the undercarriage. They're super easy to go on. They take 4 self-tappers, go right up in there, you're good to go. It's a nice storage to keep them out of the way, and it's, you know, you're not taking up any space. Alrighty, so we'll get back to you and then we'll finish that all up. We do this, it slides in and everything. We're expecting some pretty nasty weather tomorrow, so we're trying to get a jump on it today. So normally this slide isn't in the way, but basically same concept here is we close the 2 valves up front. Now we're gonna close this valve, and as you can see, there's nothing in there. We're gonna take this guy, put him over here, make sure again that it's all locked in. So then this guy, we're just gonna lock him up. We're gonna pull off of this adapter, and then you just pry in there and you'll pop it off that little lock, as you can see there. Then you pull it right off. So I'm gonna throw that in here, and there's still quite a bit of liquid in here. I can still feel it. So you just want to work it down. You'll feel it. You'll feel it all kind of come out. And you just kind of hold this guy up. Normally we put a cap on here, but kind of pinch that up there. And we'll let this all kind of drain on down. Now, a little disclaimer, we're actually getting rid of this hose. I don't like these hoses. We thought we'd try them. They, personal preference, but the reason I don't like these is because they twist up. They're hard to get that twist out, and as you're trying to extend and get the full length, this thing always wants to shoot back. So we opted to go back to some of the upgraded Rhino hoses. They're all made by Camco. They're all the same company, but I like this style more than I do this one. So we're actually going to throw this guy out, and we're going to keep this. We don't need extras, so that's why we're not keeping it. We're just going to get rid of it. Okay, so I'm going to pull this guy out, and then we're going to cap this back off, throw that back in, and then we're good to go. We put everything away, on to the next one. So there still might be a little bit of water in here, so what I do is I just basically take this guy off, and we just kind of go like so, just to make sure. And go ahead and thread that guy back on. Put your guy in here. Now, this guy, I put a cap on the end of it. This end I didn't. And the reason I didn't is because here's my other storage. So I just kind of slap this guy in here, and I feed it back in. And then close the flap and lock it down. We're good to go. So now I'm done with these guys. And I put these to the side. Fold up our little slinky here, and everything goes up to the front, except for this hose. And that's it. That's how we get ready to go. All done. Just kind of wanted to go back into our Nautilus room here, our input. Another nice thing, I know I said I use it here because of temperatures. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it there or not, because you don't want to leave them. We've seen a couple sitting here, and I'm sure people have left them. We've almost left ours as well. So it's kind of a catch-22, but always kind of have a checklist so that you can go over and you can remember, okay, do I have my reducer? Do I have my filter? Do I have my Y? My hose, my black hose, you know, my slinkies, my adapter. So we have a checklist that we go over everything. Breakdowns on the outside as well as when Beth's on the inside, just like right here, the little blue lights that are indicators. Not a big deal because they're LED, but I still make sure that I shut them off, and I still make sure that we pull these off when we move the slides in. It's just one of those things that kind of double check. And a lot of times Beth will go and she'll come back over my list and she'll double check, which I don't have a problem with, because sometimes I get in a rush and I think I do it, but I don't. So teamwork, you know, always don't take offense if somebody double checks or asks you, hey, did you do this, did you do that? There's no harm in that. So alrighty guys, well, we're gonna finish packing up and head to the next one. So don't forget to hit that bell down on the bottom. Hit us a likes are free. Alrighty, we'll see you guys later. Thanks. Bye-bye.